Hey guys, how you doing today? God bless. Hey man, this week is the week of March Madness, and you got all these small schools out here going against these large schools, these large corporations. They have all the fans, all the money, all the hoopla, and these tiny schools are able to compete against them, and sometimes even beat them on this large scale as they go for the national championship in basketball. I sit back and I just be thinking, sit back and I was thinking, and curious and wondering, do they realize how minute and small they are in comparison to what they're doing? This is some of these matches are true situations where it's David versus Goliath. Large, large school, large corporation going against these small, tiny schools. Not a quarter of the amount of money that they have, not a quarter of the amount of alumni, fans, bands. I mean, all this, and it gets me to thinking. It gets me wondering. You know, and so I remember a while back I was writing a sermon I was going to preach, and in this sermon, the name of the sermon was the meaningless vessel. The meaningless vessel. How meaningless are we? And I got to thinking about it and so I read up on it, and you know, uh, you know, you know, when two people have sex, when a male and female have sex, you know, and conception is possible. There is 500 sperm cells present, 500 million sperm cells present during an encounter. So you got to sit back and wonder, like, okay, what in the world made you out of the other, 499 million, 499, 99, 99, 99 million uh, uh, cells, what made you, and I got to thinking, like, it's so minute an opportunity and chances for a woman to become pregnant because out of that 500 million, maybe one or two, three or four make it up all the way up the uterus to the point to where they can actually fertilize an egg. It makes me think back to when in the book of Ecclesiastes, when King Solomon was talking, he was talking saying that it's all meaningless. Just eat and be happy. It makes me think about how small and minute that we actually are. We're all a bunch of meaningless vessels out here. I mean, there's no meaning to life as we can see it, as we can find it. We know that some follow a broad road. We know that some follow a narrow road. We know that some are believers. We know that some are non-believers. We know that God created it all. We know He sent His Son Jesus Christ. This is actual factual stuff. He actually sent His Son Jesus Christ. And we know that Jesus Christ lived factual stuff that's actually been proven. But I mean, what's our purpose? What's our reasoning for being here? A lot of times, we don't search for meaningfulness in our lives. What we do is search for fun. We want the beautiful ladies. We want to get drunk. We want to club. We want to party. We want to. Some people want to go to art museums and things like that. People do all kinds of different things to to make themselves feel meaningless. But the fact is, we're all meaningless. I talked yesterday about how you ever been upset with God and how I was upset with God, and it's got to really thinking about I'm so meaningless. Who am I to think that God can change my circumstances? Who am I to think that God is supposed to change my circumstances? Even though I read it in the Word and I asked for it in prayer, and He actually told me in a dream that He was going to change my circumstances. But how in the world am I to think that He's supposed to do it? I'm just so meaningless. Well, I'm going to tell you this. As meaningless as I am, my faith changes it all. See, because I'm so the faith that moves mountains, the faith that Jesus had when He told that fig tree, "You're not going to grow any more figs," and it withered. That type of faith, the amount of faith that you have in your inside of you, can either move mountains or make a fig tree not grow. You know, it's all about whether or not you're going to pursue it or not. What I mean by pursue it, are you going to pursue faith? Are you going to pursue God? Are you going to pursue uh, the Word? Are you going to pursue Him? Or are you just going to be happy, just being out, having a good time, making yourself believe that you're important, like you're really meaningful, when the truth is you're not. You're not meaningful at all, not one single bit. And so, we kind of get caught up in that as people. And so, my message to you guys today is, you know, we're all meaningless vessels, each and every single one of us. So let's focus on the Word, focus on the Lord, focus on what He tells us and how He tells us to do it, and watch how our lives change. Don't get caught up in previous situations. Don't get caught up in nonsense. Don't get caught up in any of that. Just focus on the Word and watch how your lives change. Until next time, my friends, God bless.